Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesigntechtips.com. We've got a little slider down here, just like the one we did yesterday actually. Watch what happens when I hover my mouse over it. It's going to stop, it's going to blur out, letting us focus on the title, content and call to action button right here. Take our mouse back off. I've got mine set to 5 seconds. It'll start rolling again to the next one. And again, put your mouse on. It's going to blur it. Leave our title nice and crisp there. Really nice effect. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. Now let's get rid of this section. We'll start from scratch. It puts in a section automatically. It's asking us to put in a row. I'm going to put in single row. Now I'll use a little slider module. Again, we could use a full width slider for this, but we'll just make this one full width. It's got 2 slides in there by default. I'm going to take it down to 1. Okay, well, let's make this slide look how we want it. I'm going to go in there. Yeah, we'll give it a title there. What we want the button to say. Content here, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Don't want any image or video. Link, obviously, if you want your button to link somewhere, put a link in there. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab. You can link the whole module as well, if you want to put a link in there. Same best practices, obviously. Background, let's go in. Let's put something a little more interesting than that in. We'll add a background image, 3rd tab along. Let's find something fairly intricate. That's fine. I'm going to save those changes. I'm going to go into my text now, over in the design. I go down to text. I'm going to throw mine on the left-hand side. I want to make that title a lot bigger. I go down to the title, and you can change the font out if you want to. Like yesterday, we used Able. Let's use Able again on that one. I'm going to capitalize it. I'm going to make it bold. And let's make it a lot bigger. Now you can adjust this for tablet and mobile by rolling over the dark writing right there. It's got a little mobile phone icon. Click on it. You can have separate values for tablet and mobile by adjusting right here. It's looking good, but my text, I don't want it spread out quite as far as this. So I'm going to go back into the content, back into my first slide here, down to the content. I'm going to split it. I'm doing Shift and Return, so it just does one space for me. And split it up again just about there. And let's throw that one on another line. Great. Well, before we go any further, let's make this the size we want it, which is full width. So I'm going to save my changes here. I'm going to save the main slider settings. I'm going to go into my row, the green tab. Over to design. To make it full width, I'm going to go into sizing. Width is right here. Let's slide that up to 100. And let's type 100 and the % sign in down below. And we've got it full width. Perfect. Let's get rid of the spacing top and bottom. That's in the row and in the section itself. So while we're in the row, we can close up sizing, go down to spacing, put a 0 in the top there, hit the chain. It'll do the bottom side first. Just do the same thing in the section. We'll be good to go. We're in the section, blue tab, same place, design, spacing, hiding top, 0. Fantastic. Got it butted up against the top and the bottom. Great, well that's working out. There's our first slide, but it's pretty busy. It's not really easy to read that. So it'd be nice when we drag our mouse onto it, we could blur out this busy background. Let's do that. So I'm going to go back into my module, dark tab for the module. I'm going to go into my first slide. We go over to advanced, and custom CSS. Don't panic, any CSS are right, I'll put down below for you. I'm going to go over the module elements tab. I'm going to go down, we've got main element, after, slide title, slide description container. That's what I want to work on. There's images behind there. So I'm going to use what they call a backdrop dash filter. May throw up a flag on this. I want to use the blur filter, BLUR, and some round brackets at the end. It's telling us it's unknown, but this does work. I've tested it on several browsers and it seems to work absolutely fine. So let's put 5 pixels in there. You should see something happen. As you can see, that's blurred that background out by 5 pixels. If I drag it up to maybe 20 pixels, it'll really blur it out. Perfect. But it's not reaching all the way to both sides here. We can fix that. We go up now to the main element. Make sure there's no padding on there. You can say padding, colon, 0. That's done it. That's taken away that side padding that was there. We've got our blur throughout the image there. Perfect. But initially, I don't want that blur, do I? I want to see the crisp picture. Then when they put their mouse on it, I want the blur to come in. So we can fix that back down here. Let's just copy our backdrop filter there. Put a little semicolon after it in case we want to add another line of code. We're going to take that back down to 0 so it's a regular picture. Then common to all Divi modules, if you roll up over the dark writing, you'll see some little icons appear. There's a little arrow. We can create a hover state. So when they're not hovering over it, desktop, it's going to be crisp. When they hover over it, it's blurred out by 20 pixels. That makes it a lot easier to focus on our writing and the call to action button there. But if we leave it like that, it's going to do it instantly. Boom, boom. I want to kind of fade it for a bit of grace. So let's add another line of code. I'm going to say transition dash duration. Let's give it, say, almost a second, 0.8 of a second. That way, we'll have a slight fade to it. Perfect. Once you've got that going on one, we can duplicate this slide and we don't have to go through this process again. So we'll just save this. Take us back to the main slider settings. We'll duplicate this a couple of times. Go into the second one. Obviously, you have different content to put in yours. I'm going to leave mine as it is. We will change out the background image though. Save that one and do the last one. And then we'll automate these. Throw another one in there. Fantastic. Obviously, keep going for as many as you need for yours. We'll save this one. Back to the main slider settings. We go over to design. Right at the bottom, we'll find animation. To make this roll around automatically, just hit the little switch from off to on. By default, it's going to do it every 7 seconds. Let's speed that up a bit to every 5 seconds perhaps. Slow it down, put a bigger value in, obviously. I want it to stop when they put their mouse on it, so I'm going to leave that just as it is. If you want it to keep rolling even if they got their mouse on it, you can switch this one on. I like to leave it there, gives them time to actually go read the writing, title, and click on the button if they need to. So if we've done this correctly, it should all work for us. Let's hit the save and hit the little purple button at the bottom. Save draft or publish if you're ready. Let's exit the visual builder. And here's our first one here. If we roll over, it's going to fade in. It's that blurred background there. We can focus on this, hit the button. If we take our mouse back off, it's going to roll around to the next one in 5 seconds. And we can roll down. And again, that's going to fade to the blur. We can concentrate on the writing on the call to action and continue on to our next slide. Really easy effect. Really nice little thing to have on a full width, full screen slider like this one. people are mousing around, that's going to get their attention pretty quickly when something like that happens, which is just exactly what you want on a website. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you make something with this, drop a link down below, show us what you've made. It's always great to see what people are doing. And don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and WebDesignTechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.